Hello, hello, hello. I hope everything's working for this very first live stream on this brand new page called So Handmade. Okay, so I feel like I've got everything set up, ready for us to go. Um, as always, when you're first trying something new, you're not sure if it's going to work. You're not sure if everything's going to line out. And especially if it's live. So I am taking a chance on this whole thing to work out. In my mind, it feels like it's going to be great, but sometimes things happen. So who knows what's going to happen during this live stream? I'm just going to see if I can share it. I switched back to the previous version. Hi, Kendall. I switched back to the previous version of Facebook Live because they have this new one, and I was not impressed. So, I feel like tonight is an experiment night. I've got everything set up, all the cameras set up, and I feel like I don't have enough cameras. But I think it's going to be great. I'm going to go ahead and share this to my regular page. Because it's such a new page, and of course not everybody's into this, guys. Not everybody's into crafting and sewing and these things, and I'm not used to doing these kind of videos, but I thought it would be fun and it would be great. So I'm just gonna post that right now and just kind of get started. So at the end of every live stream, the things that we make, I want to do a giveaway. So for the people that are online and they're watching during each one, they have a chance to win the fabulous product that we make that night. So tonight, if you've seen the post earlier, we're going to be making this. We're going to be making one of these grocery bag holders, the plastic ones that you stick down in here, and then it comes out right here, okay? So I've made myself a few of these, and I love them, and other people are loving them. So I thought, why not start with an easy project? And this is what I chose. So it doesn't take very long to make, and I've already pre-cut the fabric that we're going to need so that we don't have to go through all that. So we're just going to be putting this together, and hopefully, like, if you need a project to do, you could do this actually. If you don't have a sewing machine, you could go to Walmart and you could buy, like, I think it's like fabric fuse, and I don't have any, I'm totally out. Like a fabric fuse glue that you iron, and it makes a seam, it makes a hem, and it holds really good. So there are other ways that you can actually create this if you don't have a sewing machine. And I would say you could probably even play around with hot glue. I mean, if you wasn't going to be too terrible, like, tough on it, you would want to be more gentle, but you could probably even hot glue one of these together, guys, and do different patterns. If you wanted to have like sunflowers at the top and then another color at the bottom or whatever, you could do that. You could do all kinds of things with these. But they're so great to have hanging in your kitchen. You come home, you unload your groceries, and you have all these plastic bags. What do you do with them? I usually shove mine into another plastic bag or something else that I have, and they're just like falling out, and I'm like, this looks awful. So with these, guys, you just stick them in there, and when you need it, you just pull it out the bottom. So I think we should probably just go ahead and get started with this thing. I had my son help me set up all my angles and camera and microphone, and so I hope everything is working. I can't see really anything unless there's a comment pop up, so I'm just gonna get with it and see how this goes. I hope that it works great. So first thing is, I'm going to switch over here to this work table station over here so that you can kind of see what we're going to be working with, and I better turn my light on. So I've already got everything cut out, as you can see, ready to go. This is the little tie at the top here. So we're going to be cutting and ironing that to sew. And then the little elastic, if you wanted, you could cut it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 inches. It just depends on how big you want that bottom piece to be. So this is what it's going to look like. It's going to be just big enough to pull a plastic bag through. I have some that are bigger. Let's see. This one is actually, I think, 9 inches. That's about what it looks like. Let me see if I can get that in the camera. About 9 inches. And then I had made this one, and it is the 5 to 6 inch width. Let me get used to this here. Like that. But I played around with it, and you can still pull a bag through. So that's the width. And then this is the main piece that we're going to actually be working with. And I cut mine, let's see here. I cut mine about 23 inches in length. This is how long it's going to be. And then you're going to want it to be about 17, this looks like about 17 inches in width, because it's going to be like this. So this is how we're going to get started. So the first thing is, you don't have to do this. I just do this because I like it. I like to use these, and these are called pinking shears. And what they do is, if you can see, I don't know how well that's gonna, if you can see, they have the little crinkles in them. So it's really made for delicate fabrics to help the fraying, because some fabrics, when you cut them, they're just going to start fraying, and they're really hard to work with. But I like to use mine because I feel like they're decorative shears. So when I'm working with hems or something like that, especially something like this that you're really not going to see, but you don't want a lot of fraying, I usually just cut it. Just cut the ends just like that all the way down. Just kind of eyeballing it all the way down. And see how it just makes that really, I don't know if you guys can see, it just makes that really pretty, it kind of cleans up the edges. If I get too close, I don't know if you guys can see that. But anyway, I do that with all my stuff. If you don't have pinking shears, don't worry guys. If you're working with a hem and you don't want it to unravel, what you would do is you would fold it, iron it, and then fold it again, and then you would sew it just like that, and then it would keep it from fraying, especially if it's something that you're going to put in the wash and you're going to wash it and reuse it, wash it and reuse it. You would probably want to fold over the hems so that there is a better chance of it lasting longer. This, since it's just a grocery bag holder dispenser thing, I use that pinking shears. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and iron this end down so that we can get on with the sewing. So I pressed it, and now it's just going to kind of hold so that when we go to the sewing machine, we're just going to sew that straight stitch. So I'm going to do the same thing to this other side, and I didn't cut off my selvage for this project. So I'm just going to cut it just like that. Oh, Kendall, you need to learn so bad. You can learn, girl. It is very, I might not be speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for myself, addicting. When I got my sewing machine, it sat there for a while, and I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? Why did I buy this thing? And then I started sewing, and I haven't stopped. It's actually kind of become my career. So I just pressed that end. Actually, y'all, I got ahead of myself. I actually need to make this a little bit wider because we've got to make room for the elastic. So I'm just trying to eyeball it against my mat because my mat has the, so I'm going to make that about 1 inch at the bottom. I'm just going to kind of press it and hold according to my mat because my mat's got the cuts on there. And I'm going to take it back over here and iron it one more time. I tried to get my daughter to come in. I tried to get Chloe to come in here and be with me, and she's just not ready for that. So, see, it's kind of like more of a, it's about a 1 inch is what I did because we are going to feed this little thing through, if you can believe that. We are going to actually put this in there at some point. So, okay, now I'm going to move you over to my sewing machine, and we're going to sew this thing up, okay? I got to get my ball. I sit on a bouncy exercise ball because it makes me feel like I'm really doing something. Like I'm not wasting my day sitting on my tush sewing all day long. Okay. So I've got mine set just for a straight stitch. And I'm using a brown thread to go. I think it goes nicely with the sunflowers. So I'm going to stitch and then I'm going to back stitch just a little bit. And then I'm going to run it on through. I don't really know my seam. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. You can probably, I don't know, do yours however, but I'm doing mine kind of close to the edge of the fabric. I'm just going to feed it through. Got a little too close, and then at the end I'm going to back stitch. And you could probably also zigzag that and it would look really great. Let's go back to the table and I'll show you. You could probably do a zigzag stitch and that would look really great too. I just did a straight stitch just to hold it down, and then I got a little close right there. Oh, where am I going? I got a little too close right there. So let's go back to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew it face up this time like this because I want to make sure that I sew right here, about right here, so that we can feed that elastic through there. Okay, I'll lift my needle, drop down my presser foot. And it looks like I'm sewing about 5/8. So if you're particular about your hems and what you're sewing, I think I'm about 5/8 on this. So back stitch. I'm just going to feed it through. Kind of getting off here. Something going on. And then back stitch at the end, and we're done. Go back to the table. Okay, so that's that, and we're just going to clip the ends, kind of clean up I'm just going to clean up the edges a little bit because, you know, you don't want all that excess everywhere. It kind of makes it hard to work with. So I'm just going to kind of clean up my threads. Just like that. Okay, see how easy that was? Kendall, you could do this. You could so get a sewing machine. They're so cheap at Walmart, and then just start creating all kinds of great things. Yeah. So let's see here. Now, guys, it is time to fit our ends together. So let's see. Okay. Now it looks like my cut's a little bit off. So to have a better cut, I'm going to go ahead and clean that up a little bit so that we can get a straight cut. And it'll be better to feed through the sewing machine. Just like that. And we'll move that out of the way. So I'm not going to use my pinking shears on this just yet. I'm going to go ahead and sew this part and then come back and use those pinking shears. But first, before I get ahead of myself, we need to put this elastic in the bottom. So the part that I sewed about 1 inch, you could do this a couple different ways. So when the kids are sleeping, yes. I have this little tool here that feeds it. You feed things through, and then it has these little things at the end that's like a clasp that you pull through. So if you don't have one of these, you can actually use a safety pin. You just push your safety pin through, you attach it to whatever you need to pull through your fabric, and you just work it on through. So either way, you could do that if you don't have one of these doodads. I just get everything at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. So I have pushed it through just like that. Where did I put my elastic? There it is. So this is kind of the hard part because this is a tough elastic and you just want to poke it through because you're going to pull it. I heard it pop, so I know it's through. Now, I'm going to pull it through, but I'm going to stop it. I got to get in the right camera angle. I'm going to stop it right here. Okay? I'm not going to pull it all the way through. I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to go back to the sewing machine, and I'm going to do a stitch right here so that it's going to hold that in place. So, let's go back to the sewing machine. And here, I'm just going to do like forward stitch, back stitch, forward stitch, back stitch. And you could probably also do a zigzag. So why don't we go ahead and start with the zigzag and just get a good set on it. So I'm using my zigzag stitch, and now I've hit the elastic, and I'm going to zigzag back. Now, I'm going to set my sewing machine back on a straight stitch, and I'm just going to stitch forward and then stitch backward. And I'm probably going to do it again and one more time. And now our elastic is in our bottom piece. So back to the work table. Okay, so my little tool is still in there. I'm trying to figure out where I need to go here so you guys can see. My tool is still in there. I'm going to pull my fabric down, and I'm going to start to feel my elastic. I'm just going to pull it over the elastic and just pray that it does not come off. Okay. Working it through. Okay, there it is. We did it. Right there it is. So now you're going to hold it in place. You're going to take this thing off, or your safety pin. We're going to go back to the sewing machine, and we're going to do the same thing to set this elastic in place, okay? So, go back to the sewing machine. Where's my ball? So, we're going to start with the zigzag. Just continue to hold it. It's going to resist. It's going to want to fight you. And zigzag up, zigzag back. That could create a mess too. A messy stitch. Okay, so I'm going to do now the straight stitch. Forward and backward. That's probably all I'm going to do because it's really starting to catch. Okay, clip it back to the work table. Now, do y'all see why I use the exercise ball? Because I'm up and down, up and down. So I kind of get a workout as I'm sewing. A little bit. I say it's a workout. I mean, you know. It's not, I don't see the results, but sometimes I feel the results. Does that make sense? Hey, Teresa. Thanks for popping in. Okay, so. Okay, see guys? There it is. Your elastic is now in. So, now, when we put our ends together, just like this, we can now sew it in place, just like that. So I'm going to get my straight pins, and let's put this thing together. Guys, we're almost done. See how easy this is? you could so do this. And like I said in the beginning, if you like found a really pretty fabric at Walmart, like you're walking through and you're like, oh, that's on clearance and that's beautiful, and they have those little clearance bins that you can go through, and you wanted to make one of these, you could get that fabric fuse stuff and totally iron it on, and it bonds and it seals. Or like I said in the beginning, you could probably even try hot glue. Just be more gentle with it because it's not quite as sturdy as a seam, but you could totally do this. Hey Denise, I'm gonna get back to, okay, so I'm gonna pin this just so that it holds it together so that when I sew it, it's not flopping around the place. So I'm probably gonna stop there. So this is the top. I'm going to start here, and we're going to go back to the sewing machine, and we're going to just sew all the way down and all the way and over this elastic again. I'm really going to have to learn the camera angle, aren't I? Or move myself, move my little thing, but we'll work it out. We will work it out. Back to the sewing machine. Okay. Make sure my ends are together. And I'm going to sew this about 5/8. Oh, let's sew it half an inch. Let's just sew it a half an inch, okay? So I'm going to start, but I'm going to back stitch. Always back stitch. Because it's going to hold your seam. It's going to hold your hem. And then I'll just guide it through. Come to my pen, I gotta take that out and really mess your machine up. Mess your needle up. Okay, so now I'm getting down here at the kind of the wobbly part here. Take that pin out and just continue to feed it all the way down. Okay, so as you get closer to where the end is and where your elastic is, you're going to kind of want to make sure you line those ends up. And you're going to grab, you're going to go over it, and you're going to want to back stitch. I'm going to go do this a couple times just so that it's going to hold it in, so that nothing comes off. And voila! Back to the work table. Okay, here we go, guys. Looky, we did it. So this is where I get to use the pinking shears again. I absolutely love these things. I use them any chance I can because I love the way it makes the fabric look. So it looks like I need to cut some of this off. I'm gonna cut these ends off here of the thread because it comes unraveled. All right. Ladies, if you're still on and you want to like say a hi or something at the end of this, I'm going to see if it will do a random comment picker from this video and whoever commented. So if you're still on, if you just want to do a wave or a hi to be entered into that drawing at the end of this, go ahead and do that. I think Kendall's the winner right now because she's the only one that's commented. But if you want to, if you're joining in, just go ahead and do a wave or a hi or something, okay? That way your name's going to be in the pot when Facebook picks it. So let's go ahead and cut this end off. I'm not going to cut all the way to the thing. I'm leaving a little bit. I'm leaving a little bit there from the seam, from the thread. See, not too close, but enough so there's not a lot of bulk there whenever you flip it out. So I'm just going to eyeball it and cut all the way down. Okay. Now we get to turn it inside out. Turn it inside out and see what it looks like. Yay! I love these little things. All right, now we need to put on, we need to do this. We need to put our little, the top thing. What's the top thingy called? The little hanger thingy. This thingy right here. No, this thingy. The hanger thingy. So everybody does theirs a little different. I don't know if you guys know what bias tape is, or how to make bias tape. I could probably do a separate video on that, but that will become a very familiar term in your life, a product that you will use all the time. And this is something that you don't have to buy. They do sell it. Let's see if I got some. It's just kind of like a trim, but I always make mine. Yeah, here it is. It's called like bias tape. So that's what this is, but we're not going to use bias tape, but you can, or you could use ribbon. You could use a different color fabric to make your little hook thingy on. But I'm going to make mine out of the same material, this right here. So there's a couple different ways that you could do this. They have such a thing as a bias tape maker. I have one right here. I'll kind of show you. I got a couple in my junk drawer here. When you get in the zone, you just throw everything everywhere. I do. Well, I can't find my big one. I just used it the other day too. Okay, so this is one. It's a smaller one, and you feed your fabric through the end right here, and you pull it out this end, and it makes that type of a bias tape, or like a ribbon looking tape. So I'm not going to use that. It was just kind of an extra. So you could do this a couple different ways. Let's say you wanted to have this side like sunflowers, and then say you wanted to have your other side a brown. So you could also do that. You don't have to do just one fabric. But this is how I'm going to do this today. I'm going to go ahead and iron down both ends about that same width right here on both sides. So let me go ahead and do that. It's very easy, very quick. Okay, so both sides are now sewn down, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're just going to fold it over just like that, and we're going to press it again. I need to get a camera over here at the ironing station so that you guys can kind of see that whole process. So okay, so here it is, just like that. Now we're going to take it over to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew down both sides. Okay, that's what we're going to do, and that's how we're going to make this little doodad. So forward, back stitch, forward again. Come on, we're getting those teeth. And just feed it through. Now I'm not going to clip my thread here. I'm going to do a pivot. So I'm going to make sure that my needle is down in my thread so that I can lift my presser foot, spin my fabric, and then put my presser foot back down. So just a little bit. Do the same and spin your fabric. And then sew down the other side. Just like that. One more time. Back stitch, forward, and we are done. And there it is. It's ready. Guys, it's ready. We can sew it on, and then we're going to be done. See how simple that is? Totally simple. If you just have a little bit of patience and you get all your measurements and you get everything cut and ready. The thing that I do a lot and I shouldn't do is I do one piece at a time, and then I'm like, oh, I need to cut that. Oh, I need to do this. But it is really easier on you if you have everything cut and ready to sew. I need to take my own advice. So here I'm going to pink these again. I'm going to shear them out. Now, to put this on, we're going to find right here where it's in the middle. See the seam? Right there? Okay. Let me get my pins. We're going to take whatever side we want like you want to show in or out, it doesn't matter. And you're going to want to kind of put it right in the middle of that. Let's see, it's not ready to pin yet. Okay, so let's see, how can I explain this? Take it, and the same side you're going to fold down. You're going to put it with it. So it's the same side, okay? We're not going to fold it. We're just going to have the same side so that when you flip your little holder thing, it's going to lay flat, okay? It's not going to be twisted. So it's a flat piece, and you're just going to bring that other piece around and put it there, and then we're going to pin it down, and we're going to sew this on. If I can get it to pin right, just to hold it there in place. So back to the sewing machine. Here you could do this a couple different ways. I'm going to do a straight stitch, and I'm going to make a box shape. You could also do a zigzag across there, and it would hold it just fine. How about we just do that? How about we just do the zigzag shape on this, just to save a little bit of time. I like to do the box stitch all the way around because it just looks fancier, but a straight stitch or a zigzag is perfectly fine too. So let's go ahead and do the zigzag. So I'm going to make sure I get those lined up. I'm going to go ahead and take my pin out. Hold my fabric down. Okay, here we go. Back stitch and forward. Come on, don't you do it. Sometimes it wants to jam up on you. Don't force it through, just let it glide. Okay, now we can back stitch forward, and it is done. We're so done. We're done with it, guys. Okay, back to the work table. Here it is. Okay, we're done. Ta-da! So now we're just going to clean up our, I'm going to get my little clippers here. We're just going to kind of clean it up a little bit. Clip your threads, the ones that are hanging, just like that. Yay, we did our first project. We just did our first project. I need better lighting and more cameras. I'm so needy and greedy, I know it. Okay, yay! Okay, let me switch the, here we go. There it is, guys. We made that just now. See how easy that was? You could totally do this. Perfect gifts, right? You can make this and give these as gifts. You could make it to match your kitchen. You know, if you wanted to find a specific fabric or a print of some kind to match your kitchen, you could totally do that. It's just so simple and easy, but so useful. I want to say it's useful. So that's it. We did it. We didn't have any hang-ups. We didn't have any setbacks. I am so happy because I was kind of afraid that something was going to jam or I was going to do something wrong, and that was going to be the end of the show. So it worked. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys so much for popping in and just kind of checking it out. I don't know what we're going to do next week. I have so many ideas. I want so many more cameras. I want better lighting so that you guys can see it from all different angles, and maybe the quality would be better if the lighting was a little better, but it's hard to know until you actually get in there and do it. So until you actually get in there and do it, guys, you'll never know if you like to sew or not. I used to think I hated sewing. I never wanted to sew, but my heart changed, and here I am. So I don't know if we're gonna do the giveaway because Kendall, it looks like you're the only one I'm seeing. Did anybody else comment? Oh yeah, Chelsea. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you guys on. Hi, Chelsea. Teresa, did I say hi? So I had said hi, Sheila, Cindy, Stephanie, Jessica. So if you just joined, if you'll give me a little wave or a hey or something, you could be entered right now in the drawing, okay? I'm going to do a random Facebook picker. Facebook's going to pick from the comments, And we just sewed this sunflower plastic grocery bag holder. So you put all your plastic grocery bags in the top of this, and then it dispenses it at the bottom. That's what we just sewed tonight. So I'm going to give this away to somebody, but to be able to be entered, you have to comment. You have to like wave or say hey or do something, and it will totally put you in the drawing. So I'll just hang out a little bit. Hey, Steph. Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, thank you. There's so many great things. I don't know. What do you guys want to make? I've got all different kinds of things we could make. I've made the like little chapstick holder things that you put your chapstick in with the keychain, the key fobs, the little cast iron pot holders that go on the end. Actually, I've got a few things over here. Probably that we could make. So I want to know what you guys want to make. See these little drawstring bags? I made these for Valentine's Day and put candy in them. And then this one don't have the strings in it, but you just see it's a see-through pouch. You know, we can make things like this. Of course, the bowl koozies, guys. These got us through Christmas last year. I sold probably close to 700 of these things between October and December. These kept me busy. So these are a really popular item. If you guys want to learn how to sew these, we could totally do that. All the key fobs, the wristlets, you know, that you put on your keychain, and those. Here are the cast iron pot holders that go on the end of your little, because we're a cast iron family. Here are those. And then, of course, just regular quilted pot holders that have the pouch inside, that you can put all your goodies in. These are great for gifts. If you make these, you can put like brownie mixes and things down inside of there and make this a whole gift. You guys, there's so many things we could do. And of course, you know, if you guys want to learn how to do these aprons, we could totally sell some aprons. There's no limit. There's absolutely no limit. And there's projects that I want to do that I need to do before I do them on here because I don't know how. So anyway, and I got this pretty sequin stuff. You guys have totally got to see this. I made a mask out of this, you guys, for people that wanted special request. I've made leather mask like this upon special request, so it just looks, you know, I had a motorcycle friend ask me if I could make her a leather mask, and I'm like, I could totally do that. So, you know, they're probably not safe to wear around just by themselves, but this is something else. So if you guys are interested in learning how to make these types of things, but anyway, I absolutely love this fabric. You see it? So I was making a mask and I thought, I'm going to get more of that. And it's very pretty because it's just kind of like an overlay, which I don't know that I could wear it out, but it's very pretty. See, the fabric is very pretty. So anyway, I want you guys to be excited about this because crafting and fabric and all this stuff is so much fun. So let me put this back right here in my stash. I miss my comment people, the people that help me with my comments. Cody was going to help me and he had to go work. So, hey Sue, I think that's Sue. Hey Jack, if you're on too. You're needing Henry to buy your a sewing machine. Yes, Teresa, I got my little sewing machine about $80 from Walmart, and this was, I mean, they still have these, but it's been probably a year now, but he totally needs to get you a sewing machine and you guys could sew along with me. Yay! Okay. So, let's go ahead and try to see if this this thing will draw a winner. Let me go here, refresh, and see if it's pulled it up yet. I know you guys can't see my screen just yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, guys. It says 3 unique commenters. So there's 3 of you that have commented that are entered into this thing. So, right? 1, 2. Nope, there's 4. Let me refresh because I do not want to leave anybody out, guys, at all. Include comment replies. Let me refresh this. What are you doing? Oh, I gotta click the thing first. Okay, there we go. Okay, y'all ready? Y'all ready to do this giveaway? Kendall! There you go. Oh my goodness. Congratulations, girl. You just won that. You just won that. This plastic bag grocery holder. So, Jimmy, bring it to church. Whenever you want it, you just let me know, okay? I'm so happy. I'm so happy you guys came on here. I don't know what we're going to do next week, so Steph, I seen you flying through. What do you guys want to do? I'm just going to, if you have an idea, just let me know. If not, I have plenty of ideas and we'll just keep doing this. And I think I'm going to leave it on a Thursday night because I feel like right now that's good. That's a good time for me to do it. And I don't know if it's going to be at 6 or if it's going to be at 7. I don't know if 6 is too early or what. And that thing is... So, I'm so happy. So, I'm going to leave you guys with an encouraging verse. I just want to pray out, and I'm going to pray over Kendall. And what I need to share is, guys, this stuff, this is not just fabric. I feel like the Lord had spoken to me that the things that I send out were anointed. So, I am going to pray over this, and I want to pray blessings over Kendall. And this thing will just be an anointed piece of fabric that is entering into her home. And that's what I want to do as we end out. But this encouraging verse here, it says, "For the Lord your God will bless you in all your harvest and in all the work of your hands, and your joy will be complete." So what is it that you love to do? What are your hobbies? What are your passions? What are your goals? What are your desires? I struggled with doing this because I went from devotions to crafting. And it seems like I've strayed so far away from the Lord, but actually that is not true. He has given us all a desire to do something in our life that we can glorify Him in, right? So whatever it is, guys, that you want to put your hands to, I pray that He will bless you in that. Whatever your passion is, whatever your hobby is, whatever your desire is, there is no dream too big for the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart, right? I had no idea I would like to sew so much. I had no idea that this could be a job for me, a career for me. I had no idea what was going to come of this. A year ago, it was just a hobby, and now it has become so much more. So thank you guys that have walked with me along this road. I just pray this verse over you guys that are watching now and that will watch later. I'm going to pray over this for Kendall, and that's the end of it, guys. We did it. We did it in less than an hour, so I'm so happy about that. Thank you. Okay, guys. Father God, I just thank you for tonight, and I thank you, Lord, that everything went smoothly, Father. And I just want to pray over this thing. I want to pray over this fabric, Lord, as it passes from my hands to Kendall's hands, Father. I just pray that you will bless her, Father. You will keep her, Father, and that you will give her the desires of her heart, Father. And I pray that, Lord, she will begin to see things unfold in her life, Lord, that only you and her know about. Those private conversations between you and her, Father. I pray that she will begin to see some things unfold in her life, because you are good, Father, and you are for us, Father. So I just pray favor into her. And I thank you, Lord, for all the people, all the girls that come on tonight. And I pray, Lord, blessings over them and their home. In Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to shut it down. God bless. And we'll do it again next week.